We are in Unstuck. How does that feel? Now then, my radiator has just come on at the very moment that yet again I've pressed to record this session and is now making really weird noises. So I'm going to crack on because I want to do this film for you. If it gets too loud, well, you're not going to see this because I'll stop it and start again. Anyway, we are in Unstuck. I'm going to get the slides up on screen. And we're going to start exploring what Unstuck is all about. So we've been through the shock and we have embraced it. We might still be processing a lot of emotions and a lot of how we feel about being shocked, and that's fine. Shock doesn't just go away after one day of thinking about it. But when you start to move on into stuff, allowing yourself to roam and think about ideas and think about yourself in a different way, then that's where we start generating loads of ideas and we start to think things are possible. There could be a different way. There could be different solutions. Things might even be exciting. So Stuck is all about freeing up your mind and allowing it to roam and find out what's out there for you. Then we go into slow go, slowing down our thinking, getting really clear on our why, our priorities, and then making a decision. Whatever decision you make, it's the right decision. But the important bit is make a decision. Just one thing that you're going to put your bets on for now and say, right, I'm going to go all in on this. Let's try it out. Let's go for it. Let's see. And know why you're doing that one thing. That's the start. It's the start of the cogs that start to move to then progress you through. And now that brings us to Unstuck, the feeling of unstuck. Okay, I'm ready to go. What do I do? Okay, so let's explore. Unstuck is about moving from the what. What do I want to do? What am I thinking? What's the ideas to, okay, this is it. How do I get there? So it's really exploring how. And it's really important to spend time in this space because doing good work in Unstuck means that you can focus your energy, focus your resources, and make sure that when you do make the move, it's a really good move. It's the best move you can do. So where to start? It might be that you're feeling like, okay, I'm ready, but there's still a few things that I need to search through. There's still a few things that I just need to go through before I make a move. Or you might have made a move already. You might have posted out. You might start telling people these are some of the ideas you're having. So it's always good to check in at this point. Where are you? What is it you want to do and why? And then we're going to explore, how do you start? Okay, 3 things. Make a plan. Now, planning might feel like the last thing you want to do. We've been doing all of this creative stuff. We've been getting, really excited about thinking differently, free thinking. And now I'm telling you, make a plan. But it's not a huge 60-page plan. It's a really concise, maybe 1 page that helps you know and remind yourself, what are you doing and what are you focusing on? Simple as that. We'll go into a little bit more detail what that can look like. Then it's about creating your story. How do you start telling your story? How do you start using everything that you've done in the program so far and other things? You might have been reading books, you might have been talking to other people, building your network. How do you use all of that good stuff to create your story that's going to help you move forward? And the final bit is creating your tribe, being aware of the people that are around you and the influence they've got on your progression. Can you hear the radiator? That's ridiculous. I wonder if I can switch it off. Dear me. So planning. Okay, we're going to go through 4 different types of planning. The first one is personal development plan. So when we look at, honestly, this noise, I don't want to stop because if I stop, I'm going to lose all this good stuff. I'm going to keep going. Personal development plan. That is your toolkit, creating this toolkit of stuff that's working for you. Remembering the podcasts, the things that you wrote down, the music that have uplifted you, the books that you've read that have made you feel good. Creating your toolkit, your go-to things that will help you when you feel stuck again, or when you're feeling overwhelmed, or when you want a bit of motivation. This is your toolkit. So personal development plan has got this toolkit in it, and it's also around, okay, what are the things you want to work on? So you've probably worked through some ideas around your strengths, you've looked at your values, and you might think, well, there's a few things that are missing. Note them down and really understand, well, why is it that I want to work on this skill? If you're going to invest in a course, for example, it's very specific. Really understand, what am I hoping to get out of it? What's my expectation? So if you invest in a course on, say, coaching or NLP or social media or digital marketing, it could be all sorts of different courses are out there. Really understand, what are my objectives? What do I want out of it? And what am I expecting to happen at the end of the course? Am I wanting to grow just as a person? Am I wanting to then find clients as a result of it? And then check in that that's definitely what's going to happen. So that's your personal development plan, creating a toolkit and creating some things that you really want to focus on to help you grow. Second part, personal brand plan. Now, personal brand is all around who you are, what you start to become famous for. We've mentioned it before. Really think about, what is the things that you can talk about a lot and with passion and purpose. Start to create a personal brand that people know your values, because you're demonstrating them, you're writing about them, you're sharing. If you need to niche, so one of the things we talk about in the program is around niching to stand out. So if you are applying for jobs, say you're a project manager and you're applying for project manager jobs, one way to stand out is to become a specialist in one of the areas that a project manager has to specialize in. Perhaps you are a specialist in Six Sigma. You can really focus on that, write about it, be the expert. And it doesn't close doors for you, it opens more. People remember you as, oh yeah, you're the Six Sigma expert. But also, would you like this job as project managing this big transformation program? So personal branding is, what are you known for and how are you just reinforcing that? It's not one time, it's not one post, it's not one time you tell someone and then you've done it. This is your personal brand that you repeat, repeat, repeat. Then there's the 90 days goal. Highly suggest that you keep setting yourself 90-day goal. And that's the way that you can know if you've really tried. Give yourself 3 months on a goal. Give it everything you've got. Oh my God, someone's actually working. How do I stop it? There we go. No, it hasn't stopped. There we go. I'm hoping this feels very authentic with the interruptions, the radiator making weird noises. I'm going to crack on because I haven't got another window to do this for a long time. But you know, it feels like you're chatting to me really. So, you know, this is what it'd be like. Anyway, right, 90-day goals. Focus on 3 months. Give yourself 3 months to really try and absolutely repeat what you're doing. If you're starting something completely new, you've got to give yourselves at least 3 months to get up and running. So from the moment you decide, okay, I'm going to start something new, this is what it's going to be, and start repeating and trying stuff and, you know, exploring it, you've got to give it 3 months. It's not going to happen overnight. Too many people give up after maybe 2 weeks. Oh, it's not working. I've not had anybody sign up. It's not going to. You're going to have to really go for this consistency and keep going and putting it out there, trying to reach, you know, set yourself a target for how many people you want to reach or how many people you want to know about what you're doing by a certain time. Then you can start reviewing it and start thinking, well, am I still enjoying this? Is it still what I want to do? Is it the right path? So go in 3 month periods. 90 days goals, a really healthy way of allowing yourself enough time to try, but also know when it's just not feeling great or something needs tweak, it's not quite working. And then the final tool in this planning kit is your priority list. Bring that into your planning. What is your number one priority at the moment? Remember that and put a lot of effort into it. So if you do just need a job right now and you need to bring in some money, focus is number one. You know why you need to do it. As we've said before, it's not letting go of everything else. It's just focusing on that priority and knowing why you want to do it. So that's the general kind of structure of planning. Try and keep things as easy as possible. Don't make it overwhelming. Give yourself tools that help you keep going forward. If things aren't helping you, if some of this stuff is like, oh God, this is a bit complicated, ignore it. This is all about you, equipping you to move forward the best way you can. This is a quick, let me just move me out of the way. There we go. This is a quick overview of planning and some of the questions you can ask yourself to check in with, okay, where am I at? What could a one-page plan look like? Really simply, it's about what's your goal? What do you need? What do you expect to happen from that? What's the outcome you're expecting? What's stopping you and who can help? And then underlying all of that, it's what's the skills and resource that you need? What's the investment? And that could be time, money, whatever it could be. And all the time, challenge all of that. We know what's the time frame you're setting yourself, right? I need this by this point. And then how and the why wraps around it. So be really clear. What's your goal? I want X by X. What's the goal and by when? And what is it that you think you need right now to do that? Really focusing on what's stopping you. And keep asking why after everyone. Why? What's stopping you? It's fear. Okay, why is the fear? It's because I'm worried what people think. Why is that a problem? Because I get embarrassed about it. Why is that a problem? Like, keep going until you find answers, until you exhaust yourself and you think, okay, that's not a problem anymore. I just need to go for it. Okay, so if it's kind of looking a bit like this or feeling a little bit like this, that planning structure has got you so far, but you're still thinking, look, I've got all these ideas and I'm not quite sure where to go. It's a little bit overwhelming. I'm not sure which one to decide on. Okay, let's use this tool. Good old SWOT. You've got all these post-it notes. I know how you feel. Look at all these post-it notes. Where to start? And it could be ideas, it could be thoughts, it could be anything that you've generated throughout the whole program. It could be notes in your notebook and you're thinking, right, what do I do? Okay, use SWOT. What are these things? What are some of the things that have come up that can give you real strength and therefore confidence? Put them in that box. It could be, look, I have real passion for this. People have told me I'm good at it. I love it. I've got skills in this from many years. Whatever it is, put that in your strengths. If there's things on post-it notes that are holding you back, if there's some things that you're kind of worried about, put it in the concerns box. If there's opportunities, if you think, oh, this keeps coming up, I'm getting curious about this idea, put it in the possibilities box. And the final bit is, if you're genuinely worrying about something, if it's not feeling great, if something's feeling uncomfortable, really think of it through the barriers. What are the barriers that are coming up for you? So the difference between concerns and barriers are real things that you're going to have to overcome. Concerns are probably just stuff that you're kind of worrying about, you're maybe telling yourself. So try mapping out everything that's going on for you in these simple boxes and see what comes up, and then focus in on the confidence ones. They're the ones that will keep you driving forward. Play in the possibilities, and then with concerns and barriers, look at them through the lens of, okay, how can I move them into one of these boxes? How can I make them a strength? How can I flip them into a great possibility? So be focused. That's the key to this section. Unstuck is about focus. You've decided on one thing that you're going to really focus on. And now it's about getting really intentional on it. Every single time you do something, you've got to think, how is this helping me move forward? Okay, your story. I've put here your personal brand. I guess it's an element of your personal brand. You can really do a lot of work into your story. So I'm going to make this one really simple for now. There's a lot more guidance in the modules, but this is essentially about who you are, what you say, what you do, and what others say about you. That's your personal brand. You want to get to a point where others are recommending you for things because they know what you're about. And whether that's a job or whether you're setting up on your own, that's where you want to get to. You've put on LinkedIn, you've gone out with your story and said, I am looking for this kind of job in this kind of area. If anybody knows anything, please send them my way. And somebody has not remembered that and they're recommending you. That's where we want to get to. And you've done it through repetitiveness. You've told them who you are. You've told them what drives you, why this is a passion. And you keep repeating it. So this structure starts to help you about who are you, what's your story, what do people think you do, and how can they help you do it. Good old Jeff Bezos. Your brand is what other people say about you when you're not in the room. So you want people to say, oh, yes, she's working on this great project. She's brilliant at brand values. Highly recommend you should talk to so-and-so about that. That's where you want to get to. It could also be around your values here. If you've been doing work on, it could be community is important to you, could be kindness is important to you, could be things like that as well, because that could be what you want to be known for. So think about how have you reinforced that? How have you made yourself the brand, a personal brand that people know you for these things? You will be the greatest contributor to your success. That's the key thing here. In Unstuck, this is about ownership. What are you doing to help you move forward? No one else is here to help you. It's just you. So every step you take, you've got to own it now. It's no good blaming other people. That doesn't matter. It's not going to help you move forward. Blaming, I don't know, blaming the government, blaming other organizations, blaming blah, 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 whatever. That's not what's going to help you move forward. You've got to take ownership and help you move forward. Take those steps. Finding your tribe of supporters is the key thing that will really make a difference when you step into that space of putting yourself out there and saying, right, this is what's happened. This is what I'm doing. I want your help. As it says here, tribe is not about your network. It's not about your closest friends and family. Tribe is about who are you collecting around you that is building you and giving you confidence to move on. It might not be your friends and family. You might have to go and find new people around you that are doing similar things to what you want to do. It might be people that have been in your past that you can go back and reach out to. Think of that manager who always used to help you, who you used to admire. Get back in touch with them and say, could we have a chat? It's worth exploring all the options here of who can you bring into your network. It's not necessarily about making friends with people. It's about following people that you admire. It's about reading their books, about watching their webinars and creating this kind of sense of who I am and things around you. The other thing it's not about is creating an echo chamber. It's not about just people who are going to emphasize that I'm right. That's not what it's about. It's about people who are demonstrating values or demonstrating something that you're aspiring to. So it could be someone who is amazing at, just getting onto YouTube and creating inspiring films. You maybe not necessarily agree with what they're saying, but how they're going about it, they could be in your tribe. So surround yourself with lots of different perspectives that are helping you make good decisions in the space that you want to go. It's not always about emphasizing that you're right. What you're trying to get to is your it crowd, the get it crowd. They get what you're trying to do. They're on your side and they're hustling you forward. Please remember, it's not always about everyone saying, yeah, go for it. It's sometimes about just someone who you can share an idea with and they'll listen without judgment. That is just as important as someone who's just like, yeah, go for it. Also, the people who are a bit more, oh God, I'm not sure if this is the right thing for you. Again, listen, but you don't have to take it on. Be open to everything around you and take it in as a fuel that's going to push you forward. Now, networking, I've kind of tipped on there and hinted on networking. You might dread networking. You might think, oh my goodness, I can't get out there and just meet new people. That's horrendous. But you know what? Whatever it is that means to you, whether you love it, whether it fills you with dread, whether it's nothing you do, you know, or whether you're an absolute pro at it, whatever circumstances that means for you, you can have a version of it and work in your way. As I've said, it could be just that you're following people that you admire or you're getting something from. Doesn't mean you have to go up and meet them and introduce yourself. So create networking as a thing that works for you in your way. Think of it more about making connections, meeting people, learning new things, searching for inspiration. And it could be, it's just about getting out of the house. So it could be great things like there's kind of walking, there could be walking groups that are in your local area, and just go along. You can meet all sorts of different people, walk along and talk. There could be business lunches that are quite an easy one to just sit down, have lunch with people and meet them and find out what's going on. So there could be things that are going on in your area. Look at Meetup. That's a great app with all your sort of local connections and events that are going on. If you're finding it a little bit overwhelming to get connected, here's some simple stuff that you could do. Before going to something or before taking part in something, if it's online, just have a think, right, what am I hoping to get out of this event? Who would I love to meet? How can I contribute? And what am I going to say when people say, what do I do? And why are you here? Just having a few little tips. I'm not saying write lots of essays, and just having a sense of how you would go about answering some of these questions just make you feel a bit more confident. And don't forget, listen more than you talk. That's the key to connecting with people. So you got a little sense of why you're there, what you're hoping for, what some of your answers might be. Keep it really simple. Do lots of asking questions. That'll be so much more valuable than anything else. You know, you're not there to be the keynote speaker. You're there to find out and connect with people. So check in with the IT crowd, who you're spending time with. Where is your energy levels going there? Are they supporters? Are they giving? Are they taking? And really check in with how people are making you feel. If you have been made redundant, and recently there could be like a group of people that have all been made redundant together, check in if this is still serving and helping you. Sometimes people can keep you in a place and you just want to grumble about the organization and moan about the manager or whatever. You know, that isn't helping you move on. So check in with that IT crowd. Who is around you, and is it time to move out of circles that are just not serving your purpose anymore? It's hard, but sometimes it's part of moving on. And this is all about being intentional. So in the unstuck mode, when you're feeling like, right, I'm ready to go, it doesn't mean that you have all the answers. It means that you're being intentional, that every day you're setting yourself 2 or 3 targets or goals that you work on with heart and intention and put all your effort into it. You'll have a plan, you'll think about it constructively, you'll know why you're trying to do it. And then when you've done them, you can then choose, okay, do I want to work on something else, or do I want to have a bit of time out? You've got to be intentional, and you've got to put structure into your day. We got through without too much of a loud noise from the radiator. It's got to be success. So that is Unstuck. Unstuck is intention. Bring that word into what you're doing. Have I put everything into that application? Have I put everything into preparing for that job? Have I got everything that I need to try and get out there and get a client? And don't give up until you feel like you've really, really drumbeated it and been consistent for at least a 90-day period. And I don't mean like from start to end. I just mean set your goals and set your planning for 90 days. Okay, good luck. I hope you enjoy exploring the rest of the module.